Guys, it's Sarah, and today I wanted to talk about some authors that I really want to start making a priority in my reading life. So I do this thing where I like to find an author that I enjoy, and then I'll read one book by them that I like, and then I'm like, I need to read all the books that they ever wrote ever, and I start collecting them. And then I don't read them all. So I have some authors on this list that I think most of these I have read from. There's one that I haven't yet, but I want to read from that author. So I put her on their list because I own multiple books by this author. So I need to make her a priority as well. But everyone else I have read at least one book from, and I want to read more, definitely. So I do have a stack of books here that I'm going to show you one book from each author. And this is kind of the next book that I would like to pick up by them, if you will. So we're going to go that way. Okay, so the first one is Nicholas Sparks. And this is an author that I read him a very long time ago. Like way before Kaylin was born, and she's 13. So there we go. But I read The Notebook, I read The Wedding, I read Nights in Rodanthe, and I really, really enjoyed them. But then I just kind of didn't pick anything else up by him at all until I picked up Safe Haven a couple of years ago, and I loved it. And that was the one where I was like, I just need to give him another shot, I think. And that ended up being a 5-star read. And my thing with Nicholas Sparks is that I think I kind of shied away from him for a while because I felt like, are all these going to start feeling the same? It seems like he pumps out books so quickly, and I'm like, do they even have any thought to them? It was just kind of one of those things. But when I read Safe Haven, I was like, oh no, he goes different places. That's nothing like The Notebook, and that's nothing like Nights in Rodanthe. So to me, I think he does give a different feeling for each one of his books. So that caused me to really go, okay, no, I need to give him another shot. I need to actually get into some more of his books. And so I would pick up The Lucky One next, I think, because I believe this has a military theme to it. So this would probably be the next one. And any excuse to have Zac Efron in my head because he plays in the movie. Any excuse for that. Okay, my next one is Diane Chamberlain, and she wrote The Dream Daughter, which was my favorite book of 2020. That was my favorite book of the year. And I have quite a few of her books now because I've collected some. I have read 2 of them so far, including my favorite of last year. And I just want to read more from her. I definitely do. I would pick up this one next, The Stolen Marriage, because I did try a chapter tag for this book a couple of months ago, and I really enjoyed the first chapter. So this would probably be the one that I pick up next of all the ones that I own. But I definitely want to read more from her. I like the way that she writes. I like the way that she tells stories, and I just want to get into more of them. Okay, so this is the author that I haven't read anything from yet, but I have, I think, 4 of her books. And that's Miranda. If I picked one up right now, it would be All the Missing Girls. This seems to be her most popular. This one is, I believe, told backwards as well, which I think is very, very interesting. And that's something that's very unique about this, but it does follow girls that go missing all from the same area. But yeah, I want to read Miranda. I've heard good things about her writing, and I just want to give her a try and see if she's an author that I could really get lost in with some of her work. And again, I have like 4 of her books, so I need to give her a try. Then we need to talk about Brandon Sanderson. I really, really want to get just completely lost in his books. Now I'm holding up Mistborn, or this is actually The Final Empire, which is the first book in the Mistborn series. I have read this book. This one I have read, book 1. But I want to reread this and then binge the trilogy of Mistborn. I loved this book when I read it. I mean, and it's been a couple of years since I read it, so I really feel like a reread would do me some good if I wanted to continue with the series, which I definitely do. But I know that if I reread this, it would be very, very enjoyable for me. But he writes just such epic fantasy that is so easy to follow. It's not over your head. It's not complicated. Well, it's complicated, but the way that he writes it, you understand it. So it is complicated. Like this magic system, you know, there's different elements and different aspects to it and different ways that it can come about. But the way he writes it, I got it. So if I can get it, a lot of other people can. And I just love his writing. And then I just keep hearing the best things about all of his series, and I want to read all of his stuff. So he's definitely one that I want to read more from, because I just want to start really getting lost in his series and lost in the world of him. And this would definitely be the one that I would pick up, because I want to reread this and then keep going. So yeah. Okay, so more fantasy, but a little different, is Jennifer L Armentrout. I want to read more from her. I only read one book of hers, and that was the first book in the Lux series, which is more sci-fi than fantasy. That's like an alien type thing, but I really enjoyed it. It was definitely kind of a guilty pleasure type thing. It wasn't like amazing. It was very teen angsty, but I really had a great time reading it. This one is definitely, I believe, more adult. And I want to read this one, From Blood and Ash, big time. This has been all over BookTube. I mean, all over BookTube in the past year. And I believe book 3 is coming out soon. So this is book 1. Book 2 is out. Book 3 is coming soon. I believe she's writing book 4. So she's churning these out like, and these are not small books, you guys. I don't know how she does it. It's insane. And apparently it's really good. So, yeah, but I definitely want to read more from her. I think she's just fun. Her stuff is fun to read. It's not going to be anything super complicated or, you know, deep. It's just going to be a fun time. And sometimes that's really just what you need. And my last author I definitely want to start making more of a priority is Stephen King. I really, really want to read more Stephen King. I have read, let's see, which Stephen King books have I read? Because I get asked that a lot. I have read It, loved. I read Misery, loved. I have read Pet Sematary, loved. Like all 3 of those were 5-star reads. I read 11/22/63, which I gave 4 stars when I read it, but that's one I want to reread because I feel like if I reread it now, I would give it a higher rating. And then I read Gerald's Game, which I didn't like at all. I gave that 2 stars. But I want to read more from him so badly. And, you know, if I picked one up right now, I'd probably pick up The Green Mile because I have seen this movie, which was so good. And this was like a serialized like series when it came out, but this is all of it together. So I would probably pick up The Green Mile if I picked anything up right this second. But yeah, I really, really want to read more from him because I really like the way that he writes. It gets weird sometimes and I'm totally okay with that. His endings are fantastic though. He can write a great ending to a book, let me tell you. Okay, guys, those are just some of the authors that I want to start making more of a priority in my reading life. Those are authors I want more from. I have more from, and I just need to start picking them up off my shelf. And there's definitely more authors on this list for sure. Those are just kind of when I was sitting down to focus, those were the ones that kind of popped into my mind immediately. So I went ahead and went with those, but I could definitely, you know, there's more on my shelves, obviously, that I want to read more from. And yeah, so let me know who are some of the authors that you want to read more from. So who have you read that you know you get along with their writing and you want more stories from them? Let me know if there's authors that you have collected some of their books, but you haven't tried any of them out yet. Let me know that too, because that's the case with me and Meg and Miranda. Let me know who your authors are that you would like to prioritize. I want to know. And yeah, okay. I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day.